What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. You've been seeing different content on the channel this week in the spirit of getting back to business for the spring. So, look, when you come in, drop a like, put your name, or put your city and state. That's really helpful. It lets us dictate where we have meetups, where we do live events. We're traveling a bunch this year, so hopefully we get to see you. So definitely hit the like button as you come in. But we got to talk about this today. People are jumping the shark. They jump in the shark. Now, I'm going to blame Gary Vee. Now, why am I blaming Gary Vee? Because honestly, Gary Vee started a lot of this. Whether he would take honest of this or not, he started a lot of what we're seeing. What we're seeing is the rise of the fake hustler. Oh, they're hustling. They started from the bottom. Now they here. Now, I will be first to say Hispanic communities, Black communities, even Asians. If you look at California right now, Asian community has gangs in Stockton and other places. Now, where is that coming from? That's coming from some of these middle class kids trying so hard to be down. We started from the bottom. Now we here. Kylie Jenner was saying that she was economically cut off from her family at 15 years old. I put this lie, is what I'm going to call it, at the same level as I put Lil Wayne saying he was selling drugs at 13 when we clearly saw him not selling drugs at 13, grew up his whole life in the camera, okay? Even Jay-Z said something about this, 50 Cent said something about this, and I thought it was hilarious because it's true. This is a person who is telling you one thing and doing another. Now, I know many of you are saying, Erica, you're not talking about Kylie Jenner and that stuff. No. I'm not talking about all that gossip bullshit. I'm talking about the pure fact that this girl had the nerve to look people in the eye and say she's been cut off at 15 when she was living in a mansion, driving cars underneath the inheritance of, underneath her father. But they lived up underneath the mansion from the proceeds of the original Kardashian himself. And it's almost like this bizarro war where we just act like we don't know what. Oh no, yeah, she started from the bottom. And it started the past 2 years where you keep seeing these ads on Facebook and YouTube. Tell me, put a one in the comments if you've seen these ads where it's like, 1 year ago, I was sleeping on my friend's couch and now I'm a 6-figure FBA. 1 year ago, I was doing something and now I'm partying with Ty Lopez. 1 year ago, I was doing this and now I have 500 credit cards at the age of 22. And what it has done is it's cheapened the entrepreneur story. It's cheapened the fact that you do have people like the Mavericks owner who did sleep in a house with 8 guys. I mean, to this day, the guys say, yeah, we all slept in the house, his apartment with 8 dudes. We're just taking turns sleeping and going to work. And that was in the early 2000s. Now, there's something you will find in common. A lot of entrepreneurs who have stories of losing it all, homelessness. Your girl's not immune from that. Came to Texas, had a financial problem, a quick hiccup, and got it right back. Sleeping in hotels, sleeping at friends' houses, and then just turn the gas on. Turn the gas on working, turn the gas on investing, turn the gas on to 1,000. And I even have people go back in some of my old videos. Well, she comes from a family of money, so blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem. If you're not honest, it robs you. Thank you, Enterprise. I'm going to read that. It robs you of helping someone else. Now, you guys see me when I go on the Black channels, the Manosphere, the wherever. I'm very pro, like, I come from middle-class family, come from cops, come from military. We did not live in the Section 8s. We did not live in the projects. I make it very clear our story is unique and different. It does not make me less Black. It does not make me less of a brown person. It does not make me less of a Southerner. You have to own your story. And what we're robbing kids of is the ability to say, hey, that's the reason I keep doing these class videos. Because I keep getting messages every day from people saying, you know what, I was a middle class kid and it made sense to me. So I went to college and then I started investing. But they don't feel like they have a place to share their story because it's not the struggle story. It's not the single mom story. It's not the living in the project story. So their story is not worthy of Blackness. Their story is not worthy of this. Same thing every day when I'm seeing all these Black people talk about, look at all these other Black people traveling all the time. They ain't Black. What? There's a meme. Kevin on Stage does a really great one. And I'm not just talking about Black people. I'm just going to get through this. There's a meme where some man has wrote up this meme that black women out there going on vacations and buying homes and putting their sons in little leagues and sending their money to church. What about the black community? They are the black community. If they are buying homes for the children they have birthed, they are creating a community. If they have degrees and if they are sending their sons to Little League, they are improving the community. And for some reason, we have lost. We've lost this compass of that your story is unique no matter where you started. And everyone's so afraid of being called, let's be honest, white privilege, middle class privilege, affluenza kids. We see news stories every day where somebody is not going to jail. We don't know why they're not going to jail. But then we look behind the backstory and spend all this money on a lawyer, $50,000, $60,000 on a lawyer. So they only got probation when some other poor kids got like 3, 4, 5 years. And what ends up happening is we so bad don't want to be looked at as middle class or privileged or we didn't work hard for what we have. Instead of just acknowledging, like Gary Vee has to let it go at some point. Gary Vee, dad, yes, when they came here and he was 8 and he couldn't speak English, but his dad had someone do what? Let him work in that store. Because let's just be honest, black dude going to New Jersey working at a liquor store and then owns it. I mean, just saying the story is unique because he was an immigrant and they had a hookup. Like literally Gary Vee tells you the story. They were coming to America to live with an uncle who was going to hook his dad up with the job. The uncle dies before they get here, which slows them up, but they still get here and his dad still has a job the day one he gets here to America, y'all. Come on now, Gary Vee. Come on. It's this lie that we're perpetuating. Like, you had a hookup. Cool. Your daddy had a hookup. He got to America. Yes, he worked long hours. No one's saying your dad didn't work long hours. But what we are saying is he came to America and a job was waiting on him. A place to live was waiting on him. Acknowledge that, move on, and keep it moving. That's the problem. When Gary Vee and other people keep not wanting to talk about that, they rob themselves of the opportunity to talk about it in the future. So by the time Gary Vee's 14 and he can work at his dad's company and he's talking about I'm bagging ice all the time, what else do little 14-year-old boys do other than bag ice and bag groceries at grocery stores like everybody else? So then when he's saying, oh, I went to college and I hated college, but I came back and asked my dad, could I work the business? Well, the business was at 2-3 million. Gary Vee is a prime example of someone who went to college and it didn't matter if they passed college because they had a job when they left. If Gary Vee ended up being not Gary Vee, it's just some guy who ended up working at his dad's liquor store and making ads in the local paper, guess what? He still have a better life than a lot of people because it'd be second generation business that he helped blow up. Even if he didn't blow it up, even if he didn't have the same Gary Vee hustle, just enough. We see this all over towns where the father's a lawyer, so the son's a lawyer. The son's not a great lawyer, but he's underneath the dad's umbrella. Okay, the daughter's this, so the mom's this. You know what I mean? We've seen it. And it just it's sickening because it robs the people of the ability to tell a good story. It just robs them. It really does. And today there was a guy, I'm not going to call him out. A lot of YouTubers love him because he's young, he's tall, he's white, and I get it. They back each other in a lot of these groups, and that's fine. The kid is 20-something, barely 20-something, probably legal enough to drink maybe last year. And he's like, oh, I get $7,000 in passive income. Now, as he was telling his story today, and I commented, you can find it on the internet if you want, oh, I've been investing in stocks since I was 11 years old. Stop. You were not investing in stocks at 11 years old. Your dad or your mom who had a custodial account have been investing since you were 11 years old. So I played dumb in the comment section to see if he would confess. I go, so you, did your parents have a minor account? Did the parents run the account? Oh, I was interested in stocks, Erica. And so my parents opened a custodial account. Sir, let me tell you, my nephew's 11 years old. Very highly intelligent in advanced classes. We're teaching him all kind of business stuff. We would not, even if we had even more millions, we wouldn't be like, here you go, Jalen. Here's $100,000. Do what you want. These are lies. And these are internet lies. So this kid's sitting here trying to tell you how he's making $7,000 in passive income. He's like 22, 23. Well, son, let's be honest. You got a 10-year head start. You got a 10-year head start. You should be at $7,000. Your daddy set it up and bought you some dividend stocks. Now, let's not front. I know black people whose parents bought bonds, who bought all kind of stuff, you know, Disney insurance policies, all kind of stuff. I'm not sitting here pretending like this kid's a liar, but the kid just lied. He just tried to play you like, when I was 11 years old, I was like Warren Buffett investing in stocks. No, you were not. Please stop. If you said 16, I was going to let him roll with it. But when he said 11 years old, I was like, that is it. No, 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 no. Stop. And so when I put the comment, I gave him the opportunity to confess. And all he did was say, I was interested in stocks and they gave me a custodial account. The word is custodial account. And that's what it is. It's that snooty, suburban, I grew up with them in private school. I'm better than other people and I'm smart. No, I will not let you get away with it on the internet. I'm really sick of this, you guys. This is what makes, and I'm being really honest, when you have 23-year-olds and 30-year-olds depressed, wanting to kill themselves because they think they failed, because they look on Instagram and their life doesn't look anything like it. Shit, the people on Instagram life don't look like it. I know an internet couple right now. The one girl tries to pretend like she's, oh, I quit my business and I did all this. No, you did not. I actually know you. You literally moved to LA with your boyfriend and you didn't work. And now you're his marketing person on his fitness business. Like, miss me with that shit. Like, and it's getting enough. It's getting enough. And I wanted to steer away from all the commentary videos and the rah. And there's 77 of y'all here, hit the like button. But I just had to come back and say, I mean, I want you to invest in M1 Finance. I want you to invest in Robinhood. I want to show you the dividend stocks I'm putting money into. I want to show you all these things. But I also want to be very transparent. Okay? In order to push and have a bounce and push through, some of this stuff is going to be age related. Some of this is going to be if you're single. Some of this is going to be if you're working 2-3 jobs, if you're pushing hard, if you're throwing $25, $100 a week. There's a couple right now on YouTube. They're investing. I comment on their channel often. They're putting $800 a month away so that every year they have $10,000. Now, some people in the comments are like, where do y'all find $800 at? And if you actually listen to the couple, they make really good money. They probably put more than $800 away, but they're saying 800 so that it sounds nice for those who don't make that much money. And a lot of people in the FIRE movement, oh, thank you so much, Fresh J. A lot of people in the FIRE movement are trying to play you like, you can do it too in 1 year. Listen to even Dave Ramsey's freedom screams. A lot of the freedom screams come from people who, they paid off in 18 months. Let me preface this. The average person pays off the Dave Ramsey plan in 18 months into the debt-free screen. No matter the size of the debt, but also listen to some of the people. When you go in there, some people go, oh, we sold all the cars. We sold 3 cars. We cleaned the whole house out. We sold every piece of furniture. Then we downsized to a smaller house. Okay, so they just told you they just cleared out $250,000. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's put it together. And it's one of these things, the trick of the hat. Like, I'm going to pull the wool over your eyes like you don't know what I'm saying. And I don't want that for us. Here at the Classy Climb, I want you to be transparent. I'm showing you how I'm getting these trucks. I'm showing you how I'm calling all these drivers. I had to run ads to get good drivers. We ran through 34 freaking people to get qualified. Why? Because a lot of times these drivers get to a certain age, they don't want to drive that much. They don't want to drive over the road. They don't want to do this, they don't do that. And you go, hey, baby, guess what? You're 40 years old, but you don't own a truck. You're stuck in an employee driver position. You got to just do what they want you to do. Right? Because people don't think long term. But if we're not honest about the stories of how we get there, we're robbing people of, if you're a young black man or a young woman and you're driving trucks right now and you can hear the sound of my voice, I want you to fix your credit and I want you to own a truck. So if in 2-3 years you want to stay home with your babies all week long, or 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, you can do that. I know 2 guys right now, they're sharing a truck. It sounds crazy, but for 2 weeks, one guy drives. For 2 weeks, the other guy drives. And they're supposed to be team drivers, but, you know, they just do what they do. And it allows them to be home with their children. And I salute them. I mean, I offered them first. I said, look, y'all want to drive these trucks? I got another truck. Nah, man, we got a good deal. We gonna keep working what we do. And I'm like, okay, cool. But if we're not honest, it leaves this fake smoke and mirrors. And you're on internet. Y'all see everybody call everything a scam. I don't want them to ever come back and act like they call me a scam, because I've literally just documented the journey. There's nothing to scam here, folks. Hard work and investments. Now, a lot of times people say, well, Erica, you bring on day traders. You bring on Terry. You bring on people that flip properties. You bring on Nita. I do, because everything ain't for everybody. And one of these things may hit for you. There's several people who took Terry's course I don't know if they're here today or in the comments, but they message me all the time where they're making big bucks. But some of you, that ain't you. So I show you M1 Finance. I show you Robinhood. I show you dividend stock. So at least if you got $1,000 sitting over in your bank account, it can be making 10% returns, 11% returns. It can be to some good use for you. Now, I'm not going to rant all night, but I literally almost just threw up when I read this 22-year-old. Am I getting $7,000 in passive income? And people even joked in the comments saying, oh, people are going to be so triggered by this, man. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to be triggered because you're a liar. They're going to be triggered because you're telling half-truths. They're going to be triggered because the fact that someone like me makes 6 figures and I don't have all the glitz and the glam and I'm not buying ads. And listen, I can take screenshots of so many people's YouTubes right now behind the scenes, but I'm not. I'm not that petty. I'm petty, but I'm not that petty. And I'm in a lot of groups where they're literally just boostering each other up. So I'll get to you guys' comments now. I'm gonna get on in these comments and calm down. All right. But again, the story today is Kylie Jenner saying when she was 15, her parents cut her off economically, and we can clearly see she still lived in the mansion. She still was a part of a national TV show. She still was getting checks from millions of different places. It's almost just, it's ridiculous, right? You know, it's like, come on, boo, come on. Now, my hat's off to Kris Jenner because she writes a story like Shonda Rhimes at this point. But we have to acknowledge everybody is not starting at the same place. Do I believe America is one of the best places ever? Yes. And I know we have our problems. I know we have racism. I know we have different things. But if you guys travel like I travel since I've been 11 years old, I've been going to our family cruises since I was 11 years old. That's why I'm letting you know my story. Been going on corporate family cruises, 30 family members deep every single year since 11 years old. Every country we've touched down in Carnival Land, they're young people that look like me, and all they'll ever get to do is be a janitor or a tourism person. Or hopefully go to America, to go to a college in America and then live the real dream, right? Like, you think these Jamaicans and some of these Cayman Island kids and some of these kids are really like running circles around people when they get here, because their life is, okay, I'm going to be a tourism person, or I'm going to be working at a cleaning up maids hotel service, or I'm going to be in the hospital but not getting paid real big bucks because I'm an island doctor. That's why then they come here, they don't come to play. They come to win, and win big. You know what I mean? And so these fake hustle stories of like, I was sleeping on my friend's couch last year. Just tell the truth. I know several people put these ads together. You were at your friend's house. Y'all were sharing an apartment. You were working at Best Buy. And then you put this up this year. Stop it. When Alex Becker, I'm telling y'all, there's, thank you, Alice Hardy, for the $5 super chat. There are like 5 videos Alex Becker has in him. If I don't want to get in trouble or any beefs with people, but if you go watch those 5 videos and do everything they say, I can't guarantee you because that's illegal in the sales world, but you basically can hit $5,000 a month online your first year. There are really simple techniques, and like there are things I still use to this day. If it's a slow week or slow month, I'll go for 2 hours and boom, money coming back in, because people are always searching for answers. So, all right, let me read off some of your stuff in here. I'm going to read your comments. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. All righty. Again, at the top of the chat, if you're a moderator, I put the links for if you want $10 to M1 Finance, and I get $10, very transparent. You hit the link, okay? If you want any courses, consulting, credit repair, I can tell some of y'all getting y'all tax refund money back because we've been busy all week. Hey, now, I see you. Credit repair, all that stuff is there. All right. Let me see what else we got here. What's up, everybody? What's up, Decatur, Georgia? Roanoke, Alabama. Interesting city name. Phoenix, Arizona, VA, Huntsville, Alabama, the show Love and Real Estate, right? Memphis, Tennessee, Kylie Jenner. She basically almost made $1 billion off makeup. And honestly, the best thing that came out of me going to Grant Cardone's 10X was sitting around people who literally were a millionaire. Not lying on the internet, not lying about it. Like, yo, this is what I'm doing. I'm an influencer. I just made $5,000 off this post. Showing you their phone, showing you their numbers. Best thing ever. But Kylie Jenner is one of the Kardashian clan. And let's be honest, only person that's going to have the Kardashian name, if you guys think about it, at this point, is Black China and Rob's baby. If Black China wasn't such a person, I'll be careful, and she was smart, she'd have hung in there for 2 years and had another baby, maybe a boy. Then she really would have been cashing in on that Kardashian money. Anyway, what's up? You and Glendon are leading the charge on exposing Gary Vee. Listen, my thing is, I've met Gary Vee 4 times. I can't front like he's not a nice person. But here's the problem. When he's kind of doing some talking smack towards Billie Jean, and Billie Jean's paid like 20-30 grand to meet you in person and spend like a couple hours with you for 20-30 grand, you should be quiet. You should never mention Billie Jean in any kind of way. You should be quiet. That's shady, because if I pay John Maxwell 20 grand and he says, Erica Williams, that Erica Williams getting on my damn nerves, I would be hot. I might even be tempted to sue. Okay? But yeah, Gary Vee's been that conveniently, I hustle so hard. And then Gary Vee's wife. Everybody's like, how is Gary Vee's wife okay with this? Because she grew up with a father who was in corporate America. So this is her second go around. She's been a privileged daughter. Now she's a privileged wife. People may hate me for saying this video, but it's the truth. Columbia, South Carolina, what's good? Daniel Alley was sleeping in his parents' basement. Yeah, right. He wasn't caught off. I mean, yeah, these people really are dramatic in these stories, and they don't have to be. Because you can Google him. Listen, I'm not going to say this guy's name, but he was on Grant Cardone. You can look him up. He had a show for a little bit, and he had pictures with Grant. Then all of a sudden, you could tell Grant sniffed him out and realized he was full and kicked him on out of there. And now you see him on a way lower level, still trying to market on Facebook ads and stuff like that. And every once in a while, you'll see people go, you're a blanking liar. You live off your parents' money. And when I saw this, and the dude had, you go bald, you have the hair tattoo. He did the hair tattoo and everything. And I was like, dude. And then he started showing his parents' house in this one part of California. I was like, oh yeah, that's only millionaires live there. Oh, I see what you're talking about. And then the person's name dropping the high school, like, you're still a liar, Peter. You're still a liar. I didn't mean to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. These people be out here lying. Right. Like listening to Dave Ramsey, which I like. However, he's always telling people not to buy a house when you're broke. See, this is the problem. Again, this is the problem with privilege. I'm going to say this and I mean it. And here's the problem. I'm in Texas. This 2-bedroom I'm in before I get ready to move into my house, because my house is not finished being built. I'm building a house. That's keeping it transparent. Is 1,500 close to it? I got it on special because they know I'm just extending it till I move. But you know how many people I know who are like, I can't afford that, Erica. But they can get a house out here in Pflugerville, Round Rock, Florence, Taylor, go further south, Buda, Cal Buda, and their mortgage is going to be $900, $800, $1,000 on the dot. So when when these people tell you, oh, you don't need to buy no house, they're not taking in consideration that some of these young people they're talking to, the rent's going to go up. Now, let me give you a hippie hip this. There's an apartment right beside ours, and the bottom first floor. Now, if you got little babies, you're not going to want to go upstairs. First floor is $1,700. Why would you pay $1,700 for a 2-bedroom when you can get a whole house for $1,000? Or you can rent a whole house in some parts of Austin for $1,200. Why would you rent an apartment? See what I'm saying? That's why again, you have to apply it with logic. Same thing people here saying, Erica, you don't need to buy no house, girl. You don't need to buy no house. And I go, Apple's moving here in 2 years. Every single piece of property on the market went up. And Apple ain't here for 2 more years. Shut your mouth. You don't know my city and you don't know my market. See what I'm saying? Again, case by case, city by city, market by market. Frankie Robinson said, Erica, when you told me you didn't know about bounce, I was like, you wasn't gutter. I'm not. And I really was like, what is this amazing thing? This is called bounce. Yeah. Y'all hilarious. Oh, I ain't gonna go there, Nikki, baby. I'm gonna be careful. She said black community, black men. I'm gonna leave that alone. I liberate myself by unsubscribing to a lot of BS channels and all the rhetoric regarding AOD. Listen, I'm not gonna say my opinions on it, but here's the thing: if you and here I'll preface it by this: in America, things have been completely financially unfair for many years. I will say this: all the way up to the 1984. I will say I've seen some cities and some stories up to 1984, right? But after 1984, you've had pretty much access to go to college, access to get credit cards, access to do a lot of things. So even if you say, well, listen here, white America and Americans, we've been discriminated against. I would give you up to 1990, even 1992, and I'd go, okay, maybe you live in some city and it's real bad. It's real bad. You live in Florida. You live in a bad part of Florida. I will still say this. Again, in America, you can change your life around in 5 to 10 years. I will ask you, what have you been doing the last 5 to 10 years? They just had a video on Instagram and World Star where there was a $1.5 million on the stripper dance floor. I think after the Super Bowl. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And the guy said there's $1.5 million on the stripping floor on one night of the nightclub with security everywhere. Can't touch the floor. You have to just leave. You can't touch the floor as you leave. So when people say they ain't got no money to open up banks and buy houses and afford $200 child support, I don't believe you because we throwing money in the air at a strip club. Okay, come on now, baby, come on. That's just one. Strip club's a very lucrative thing. But if you look at a lot of sectors, I would say if you watch me or you watch Kendra Barnes or the Key Resource or any of the people on Instagram, in about 2 years, you really could. Like even me talking to these drivers. A lot of times I do a lot of credit repair for drivers who are like, you know what, I just did the math. If I just clean my credit up for the next 3 months with you, then go buy me a truck, I double my income. I go from driving for 30 cents a mile to $1.29 a mile. That's the ultimate come up. Quadrupled the money. Now what you do with the money between you and your wife, that's the most important part. So his dad already had $1 million business. Exactly, Fresh J. I don't. Oh, suburban homesteaders. I mean, cool, for real. Exactly. Like, be proud of your parents. Be proud of your heritage. There's this narrative. Like everybody's like, well, Erica 21 Savage. He was trying so hard to fit in the hoods of Atlanta. His dad's a doctor. I have no sympathy for anybody who dad is a doctor. They're an immigrant. The teaching in that house was probably you need to study. And they're like, you never should underestimate, Erica, the desire for kids to fit in. And this is part of why Glenn and Cameron, a lot of these people say don't move in the hood. Don't live in the hood. Maybe you can buy a house there and rent it out, but don't live there because your kids will spend 8 to 12 hours a day with those people. To this day, my brother and sister, when we look back on who their friends are, everybody's like, your mom let them hang out with those people? Trust me, she tried. Yolanda West been called fake black because I was not born in America, don't want to live in hood, and can speak basic English. There you go. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kenya from Cali. Great perspective. Same with Mark Zuckerberg. He was going to be all right with the red eye collar. Listen, a lot of people don't want to keep it at 100. Stephen Curry and his brother play. You don't ever hear nothing about his brother. They were going to play anyway. His dad was going to ask for favors. Come on now. Let's really get into it. These second generation athletes, Howie Long got 2 sons in the NFL. His third son works on the NFL team as some kind of a staff person. Okay? So a lot of these football and basketball stories you're even hearing, they're bunk. Oh, he come from a... No. So a lot of these are second generation folks who are just going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. You might not be fine, but they're going to be just fine. Again, pay attention to the narrative. Listen to the backstory. Go look at P. Diddy. Go look at Kevin Hart. Even though Kevin Hart makes all these jokes about his daddy being a crackhead, Kevin Hart mom was a nurse. Kevin Hart mom gave him 6 months of rent so he could start his comedian career. You're missing all these stories in between. Look at Ryan Leslie. Both his parents went to Harvard. Makes $1 million a year anyway. He would have made $1 million a year anyway. He'd have figured it out either with connections. Again, this is why when people say, "Oh, I'm only sending my child to Harvard, Yale, or this one other college," even Grant Cardone says it, because it's not for the college. Oh, it's of course not for the school. It's for the who's in the room. It's the other kids you're putting your kid with to actually have kids with. The Obamas, trust me, the Obamas' daughters are probably going to be married to somebody black, but for now, they look like they're hanging out with white boys. But trust me, she's at Harvard for a reason. To rub elbows with other wealthy kids. And that's it. That's it. So I know this table's shaking. I'm changing this desk out to a desk from IKEA. So it's a little unstable. So I'm sorry about the shaking. Oh, wow. Erica, I was watching this homesteading channel today, and her parents died and left her 12 acres. She could sell 1 acre, pay her taxes off, and then do what? Do something with the other 11 acres. I mean, people be killing me with this. Oh, for sure. It's social engineering. It's watching TV. Listen, when A Different World was on TV, historically black college enrollment went up 3x. The show Living Single is actually the pilot, is what the show Friends ripped off. So that's why when you have Queen Latifah and these people who are like, Friends is getting $20 million a year, each cast member. Living Single should be making way more. I'm just saying because they stole the idea from that show. But it is what it is. 11-year-olds don't have a job to invest in stocks. Exactly. I used your link to invest in one. All right, Fresh J, congratulations. 10 for you, 10 for me. Yeah. Truth on the internet. Imagine that. Yeah, Reginald. For real. Yeah. Frankie Robinson, I give people the option to do the private Facebook group. Everybody don't want to do that. It's $10 a month, and we can talk how much you want. There's a lot of stuff I could do, but it ain't always about the money. Sometimes it's just about giving this good information, and like you can click the links underneath. You can get some affiliate stuff. Oh, Goddess Noel, the Fry movement. Oh, the Fire movement. You meant the Liar movement. I mean, it's just a lot of it is just people not acknowledging that. I have friends right now who are engineers who act like, I have the hardest job in the world. It's so hard. I'm like, you take 6 weeks off a year. You get the option to take 6 months off your job because a lot of these companies can't afford to replace you with another engineer. Come on, honey. Come on now. You make $120K a year. Come on now. Dave preaches liquidation of assets. Well, here's the thing, Smith. What happens is a lot of these people overbuy. They go, well, I can afford the payments. They get into that payment stuff. So then they literally make $5,000 a month, and they have payments up to $4,500. So if they sell a few things, they sell a boat, they sell a car, they liquidate it into a yard sale. Now they have breathing room. That happens often. Thank you, Amanda P. I appreciate your honesty and transparency. It's just stupid. Dave is not going to take you to work. You have to have a sense of awareness and self. Yeah. True. I'm more of an investor than a business owner. Exactly, Rock. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm starting to turn the channel away as much from the commentary as much as just showing you, like, just start setting your money in sensible things that work for you. Sensible. Just sensible. A lot of people say, hey, Eric, I want to invest. I want to get a group of people to invest. That's why I showed Sensa. I put it up there too, the links in the comments. Because you can click on that. You and your brother or you and your cousin go in on a house. You put the information in there, and now you both get to see everything because, people get, suspicious of each other. It's a great way to solve a problem. Anthony Bolton, good point. Dave Ramsey irritates me because he uses credit himself but tells everyone not to use credit. I think Dave Ramsey, I used to say Dave Ramsey before you can Robert Kiyosaki, because a lot of people don't have good spending habits. Like they get money and they go, So he helps create good spending habits, I would say. Oh, have I heard of co-op? There's a lot of stuff out there, but here's what I look at. I literally try to do one thing at a time. I test out this theory, make sure it works. Two drivers, finally on the road, doing what they got to do, test the theory out and let it work. And then, somebody says, hey, you can make double, triple the money next year. Great. But you have to actually get out there and take action. And that's what I'm trying to get a lot of people to see. There's a great channel called, oh gosh, I was on it today commenting. Rise from Mediocrity or something like that, where the guy took a break because he was so exhausted. He has almost like 1 million subscribers. And he did all these book reviews. And then today his video is so negative. He's like, stop being addicted to reading all these self-help books and actually go take action. And it's the truth. You could ask Glenn and Cameron, you can ask all these people, what is the big difference maker? It's not the books, it's the mindset, yes, but it's the action, right? Because people take one part of that and go, well, Erica, CEOs read 5 books a month, 60 books a year if I read these books. But CEOs also take massive action and also put credit cards on the line and also put millions of dollars into the company and also pay for marketing and advertising and also hire employees. You're missing the other key parts to the story. You dig what I'm saying? Just reading the books is great. I feel like the American school system's so crappy. Just reading the books will get you caught up, will get you up to basic levels. But reading the books ain't the only thing. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Alex Hardy. Erica, I tipped Erica with super chat, but I don't care. YouTube taking 30% off top. It really do. That's why I'd be like, thank you, I appreciate it. But they taking 30% right off top. Oh, Frankie Robinson, I'm tired of hearing that story. It's just a distraction because it's African American History Month and there's actual crimes going on. There's actual crap. And people are like, look, see, this terrible thing happened. And I'm like, okay, so what? What are your thoughts on Airbnb as a full-time hustle? It's great. Kendra Barnes makes bank. Kylie Jenner, best drop shipper of all time. Man, Alex Becker was just rubbing her over the coals, man. I just couldn't even take it. He was like, this crappy makeup. He just had me cracking up. I said the same thing Black China was done because we still be together. Oh, honey. Black China hit the lottery, but she just didn't know it. Okay, prime example. Thank you, Rock and Roll Dina. Warren Buffett's father was a U.S. representative, businessman, and investor and stockbroker. Come on now. All those things. Now, listen, so you guys know Donald Trump doesn't drink. And people have been always like, why doesn't Donald Trump drink? He eats crappy, but he doesn't drink. Why? His brother drank himself to death. His older brother. Because as they were becoming richer and richer and richer, his older brother, in his opinion, didn't have purpose, didn't have mission. These are real things. If you don't have purpose and you give your kids lots of money, they might become drug addicts or drink themselves to death. But the key along the way is giving people purpose and mission. So, again, being around somebody is what holds them up. Would Donald Trump have made it if his dad didn't give him that small $1 million business loan? I doubt it. He'd be another dude in New Jersey that we don't even know about. Oh, that whole, Jordan is that crossover agent, but I'll leave that alone. Now, Billie Jean's a great story. Billie Jean's the same, living at his parents' house, knocked up his white wife. I'm not trying to, it ain't nothing racial. I'm just saying his white girlfriend who's like, you need to get it together. I'm pregnant. He's like, all right, I'm going to get it together, internet. You know what I mean? Like, he even tells the story. The Jenner and Kardashian philosophy is not set up for a male to do it. It's really something else. Gary Vee was saying that home ownership was a waste of money. I cannot relate. Gary Vee is so full of it. Gary Vee just bought a brand new house, y'all, and built a house for his wife. So this is why I'm really sick of the Gary Vee stuff. Like, I met him. He's a nice person, but he's such a hypocrite. He's like, I'd never buy another house again. Listen to the interview. He just built a house for his wife, who is there with the children all the time because he's always gone. It's just a ripoff. I wish I could live in the apartment forever, but your wife don't. So what does Gary Vee have? A brand new house. Miss me with that. Oh, okay. So the hair tattoo guy is from California. He's not Middle Eastern. No, 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 no. You're mixing it up. This is another guy who he wrote a book and he was all up on Grant Cardone stuff. You can Google him. I don't want to say no names. I don't want no drama. Um, have to be careful. But I'll put it to you this way: when you're around real business people, you quickly know who's fake and you get rid of them out of your circle. So you saw how he was all with Grant Cardone, all of a sudden he was nowhere to be found. Because I put it this way: if you're working underneath Grant in any kind of shape or fashion, or you want to be one of the ambassadors, I was getting ready to buy the ambassadors package. Yeah, you gonna throw in. You gonna throw in on the capital company. You gonna throw in all the programs. You gonna be hiring employees. They're gonna be like, "Why are you slacking? This is not a real business." Like they're not gonna play with you. So that's how I know that dude. When Grant figured out he was shady, like get him up out of here. And he is, and you see him speak at some events, but you're like, okay, he spent $50,000 on credit cards to get all that traction. Come on, people. But no, the Middle Eastern guy with the hair tattoo, he's actually funny. But the guy I'm talking about is in California. But I have an idea. I mean, listen, the sad part, Lanny, about the only part I'm sad about is the fact that Kim Kardashian is so popular and those Armenian looks are so popular that a child that was born in that house who looks like her father, Kris Jenner, side of the family, decided to erase her whole face to look like her sister and look like the Kardashian that wasn't her father. Not even her father. It to me it's like it rings a like I want that girl to get counseling at the end of the day. Like I'm not worried about anything else except for her getting mental health counseling because that's literally like me coming in here and having a whole new face, y'all. Whole new face. Like that's crazy. Here's another big hype influencer lady goes to the library, builds her house herself. Listen, there is this white lady who had 4 kids, and she's like, I gotta have a abusive relationship, and me and my 4 kids built up a house together. Wait a minute, girl, stop. Stop. The contractors helped build that. The kids showed up on the weekends. You and the kids showed up on the weekends. Um, a lot of this is just ridiculous. Another thing is, there was another one I had. I wrote it down, but I can't remember now. But basically, it was somebody trying to act like, oh, I started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Oh, even at the Grant Cardone thing, there is one lady who she was, she got divorced and she had 3 kids, and she was a motivating person. She had a motivating personality. Let's put it that way. I won't say no names. And she bought Grant Cardone's everything. Let me tell you, she spent $120,000 trying to do what? Get close to Grant Cardone, get under the mentorship of Grant Cardone. So now she has a business that makes $4 million a year. And I try to figure out what she does. She's a life coach. Now you just got divorced and you're overweight, but you're a life coach. I don't never call myself no life coach. I'm trying to get my own life right. How am I coach you? I'm just showing you what I'm doing. You dig what I'm saying? But again, that's a proximity factor. She had credit cards, so she spent money to get closer and closer and closer to Grant Cardone. So now she has a trips that go to Fiji where she brings 20 people, 20 business people with her for this retreat. It only cost $16,000. And I was like, they're like, it's all included. Your airport, everything's included, Erica. Okay, I know for a fact where y'all flying at and where y'all housing at, you could pay $4,000 and get there yourself. But you're charging me 16 grand and you're charging 19 other ladies and men, but mostly ladies are going to show up to this retreat. 20 people times, let's do the math. People in the comment sections, 140 on here. Do the math. 20 times 16 grand is what? Because it's really 16.99. So let's say 17 grand. Let's go ahead and let's do it. 20 people times 17 grand is what? Somebody put it in the comments. Now you're going to get a flight. You're going to get to spend a week in a very nice resort. You're going to get mud facials. You're going to talk business. You're going to talk about growing your business. You're going to hang out with other business people. But somebody put in the comments how much 20 times 17,000 is. Because that's 20 different people paying $17,000. And And they have payment plans for $4,000 a month till you get ready to go on the trip. So I'll just say that. Thank you, Doug. Doug, one of the best moderators in Black YouTube. And all YouTube, actually. Let's stop saying Black. He's the best moderator in YouTube. Oh, ESA. I mean, I'm going to leave that alone, but I agree. Instead of, see, to me, that whole movement is just a way for us to get away from what? The economics. And every single one of those guys, when I go on their channels and I talk to them, I go, at the end of the day, guess what y'all still need to do? Go get certifications, go get higher paying jobs. 80% of the problems they're talking about can be done with getting a higher paying job. 80% of the problems when you're complaining about $500 child support and you're complaining about $1,000 a month rent, what does that mean you need? A higher paying job, baby. You need some skills. When you see these people walk around, engineers and mechanics and plumbers and electricians making $8 and $10 a month, they don't have those same complaints. They complain about buying a boat. And you complain about paying $200 child support. Come on now. This is an economic problem. This is an economic problem. And we're doing everything in our power to talk about everything but the economic problem. Hence why every day of the week I get more sales. And I know why, because we're going into recession. We're already there. But I'll just say that. Stripper bowl, yeah. 200K, not 1.5 million. Ray Gunn, I don't know if we looked at the same video, but the video I looked at, it was $1.5 million on the ground. I don't know if we looked at the same video, but it was literally $1.5 million on the ground. Literally. Not a joke. It's a big, big place. It has 2 floors. I don't know if we were talking about the same location, but they literally did a video. It was 1.5 mil. Their way of paying taxes. Gary V. office in Chattanooga is as diverse as a typical silicon factory. Black folks need to check him. See, that's my whole thing. Gary V. is in Chattanooga, Tennessee before everybody else. That's why I told y'all, Chattanooga just made the hot real estate list this year. If you know anybody in Chattanooga and they have rentals or they have properties, tell them to reach out to me. I've been trying to get in Chattanooga for 3 years. Now the prices are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Wayne Dyer sold books out of his truck. Facts. Wayne Dyer's old stuff. The best thing you can get from Wayne Dyer right now, the best that I'm listening to right now, I'd play it like 3 times, is a No Limit person. The lady who made Spanx came up with it. And if you really listen to the lady who made Spanx, her grandparents were only children. So then when her parents were born, her mom's the only child. So then when she could get the opportunity to have 4 kids, she made sure she had the opportunity to have 4 kids. Very interesting stuff. Ooh, Issa. Listen, Issa, I'm agree and disagree. I will say not because it's not cool, but the lack of exposure. Right? So when I go get a massage, I got a massage today, or I go in cars with Uber drivers and they ask me what I do, I'm very transparent. I'm like, I'm a 6-figure YouTuber. Do this, you can do this. And they're like, what? Because, or not, I work from home, I'm a consultant, whatever. Like I'm very transparent because 9 times out of 10, how many times are they going to be exposed to people like that? How many happy hours or meetups are they going to? How many conferences are they going to? So it's a lack of exposure because this whole trucking thing, right now, I can tell y'all right now, I've got at least 100 emails where brothers are like, well, you could get a truck for $15,000 and you ain't got to pay all that, Erica, and you ain't got to do all this, and you ain't got to do. And I go, how many trucks you have? Nothing. 0. If it's so easy, why aren't you doing it? If it's so cheap, why don't you have one? Again, it's the I know something, but I don't do anything with it. See, this is my big issue with the whole book reading thing. Like everybody wants to read all these books, which I'm cool. Read books. But don't sit here and say, well, I know this thing. And then when I ask you, well, have you done it? No. Do you have that? No. Have you ever invested in that city? No. But I know. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I have nothing. I don't want to hear it. Unless you've done it, I don't want to hear it. See, when you read the books, and sometimes when people get really like, they buy up all these courses and you talk to them, why'd you do it? I don't know. But I know you could do this. Nah, man. Nah. Some of it is fear. It's not just that it's not cool. It's lack of exposure and it's fear. There are plenty of cheap community colleges, good state colleges, plenty of opportunities. Yeah. Blaming immigrants is silly. But here's the thing. Again, I think you shouldn't, because every time, here's my one hiccup. My one hiccup. If there's something going on TV and it's positive, everybody in the room is like, yeah. If there's something with Black Americans that's negative, immigrants are the first people like, well, I'm not Black. I'm Jamaican. I'm Nigerian. I'm Ethiopian. I'm African. I'm Ghana. Boy, stop. So I understand some of the complaints, but again, it's still silly. The best getting rich is easiest in America. Oh, it's easy. Even Jermaine and listen to some of these YouTubers that travel all the time. They talk about it. They're like, you have it easy in America to make money. It may not be the most culturally enriching, it may not be Paris or Germany. It may not be Africa. It may not be Japan or Korea, but it is financially the easiest country to get to. That's why they're all trying to get here. Listen. Okay, look, I didn't want to go there, but listen to that. Laney said 21 Savage was doing too much. The fact that he didn't marry his baby mamas for citizenship says a lot about the women he chose. This kid's been illegal since he was 14. He got in trouble when he was 17. Got arrested at 21. He refuses to marry. To me, if I was an American, I'd be like, he's refusing to assimilate and become to America. That's all. Wow, see, when people sound illiterate, I can't because they may have struggles reading. They may legitimately, but their parents knew that along the way and could have got um, kids tutoring. LeBron James can have a 4 foot tall son and he will play in the NBA. Yeah, he will. He'll play in the NBA or he'll work on a team or he'll be a coach. The money in the Bible, Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart mom had 6 months. Whose mom got 6 months rent? And she won't even sweat the fact that you won't cash in the checks. She like, look in your Bible. Maybe did you read your Bible? Did you read your Bible? She ain't even sweating because the money just sitting in the bank account. Come on, y'all. The guy who played Luke Cage is related to Viola Davis. And Viola comes out of a poor family out of South Carolina, but she lived in New Jersey. She struggled in New Jersey. See, what people don't tell you about some of these stories is if you lived in South Carolina, North Carolina, or Georgia, and you lived in the rural area, if you ate good. You ate good. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of the eating, being poor, but a lot of these people in these southern areas, if they had an acre in their backyard, they grew stuff. They had some chickens. They had some lambs. They did something. They exchanged money. They did something. When you see some of these stories of Black people moving to the cities in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and being hungry and starving and no money and they're cold, it ain't the South. It ain't the South. It's they moved to New Jersey or they moved to Ohio or they moved to Detroit. They didn't do that down here. We take care of our people. And we may be poor, but we take care of our people. So I always listen to Viola Davis' story because they weren't starving till they left South Carolina. So peep that. I'll say that. But they needed to leave. I mean, go where the jobs are. Go do what you gotta do. I ain't gonna say nothing about the Obamas no more. I ain't gonna say no more. East, I will say honestly, no, it's not true. They when they do this next census, I know a lot of people are gonna self identify as white, but the influx in Houston of immigrants, I'll tell you right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, because the flights go direct to the islands, a lot of those people come to North Carolina for college, never go back. There are several business owners in Charlotte who are from the islands. They ain't legal. They let you know they ain't legal, and they ain't worried about it because honestly, they just pay their taxes and keep living there. So, I mean, it's a bigger community than you think. If you look at California, you look at Houston. I think right now, Houston. The reason Houston made the biggest fuss about ICE roundups is because they had over 1,200 Asian businessmen who were illegal. Then they had probably I think 300 who were African who were illegal. Then they just had numbers on numbers who were actual business people with businesses paying taxes in Houston and owning homes and had lawyers. And you weren't about to go into Houston with ICE. I'll put it that way. You weren't about to start arresting people. That's for sure. Because when people come here, be careful. But there's a particular business visa that if you get it, you can bring in 5 family members. But again, It's way bigger than you think. Right now, all the historically black colleges have about 30% to 40% island and African students. Harvard, the big fuss about Harvard right now is the fact that 90% of the black students they have are not African Americans. So it did. It's a job, fam, not entrepreneurship. Oh, isn't that nice? No, Erica, YouTube has a join button. I sent you the link. It's like $4.99 a month for other channels subscribe. Well, thank you. I thought you were talking about Patreon, but I'll check it back out. Even Evan Carmichael sent you the link on your last commentary. Oh, interesting. Mm, exactly. I mean, DMV Pat, you know that when you ain't got no money, it's ignored. Oh, I can't even talk about him. He made me sick. I don't want to say no names, but there are some folks get rich if you subscribe to my channel. Folks on YouTube. I mean, listen, generational wealth requires homes and property. It just does. Who is Billy Jean? Billy Jean is marketing. It's his whole handle. As a marketer, really respect Gary Vee in his mind, but I appreciate your opinion. Hey, listen. I met Gary Vee 4 times. I bought all Gary Vee books. I went to listen to Gary Vee speak 4 times. I actually waited in line for an hour afterwards. But there's a great, you should look at this guy called Belief in Fatherhood. He even said he went to a thing where Gary Vee was speaking and he realized he had already moved past that. Same thing when I was at Grant Cardone's 10X conference. People were writing down stuff and I was like, I've been doing that for 2 years. I'm already past that. When you start taking action and doing it, it puts you in a different mind frame. And I'll just say that. I pay a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll pay about $3,000 a month to be in different groups and get different coaching. And this guy helped me reshape my business and new domain names. You'll see a lot of new stuff this summer. Because we had to trickle it in because I'm trying to hire 10 people. And they're like, okay, this is not set up right. And when you start transitioning over, they go, well, man, you're far ahead of like this people and this people and this people, and start naming people's names. And you're like, oh, I am. And when you have YouTubers who have 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 subscribers calling you and paying you thousands of dollars to set up their back office, yeah, I'm pretty confident in what I have to say about Gary Vee. I'm very confident in what I have to say about any other YouTuber at this point because I actually do it. I actually get paid from it. I actually paid a lot of taxes this past year. You know, people are all like, oh, you know, if you're a real business person, you don't pay no taxes. That's bunk. Some of y'all at some year are going to have to pay. There's so many people out here trying to write off everything, but ask them, do they qualify for rental properties? Ask them, do they qualify to buy a house? Ask them if they qualify to buy new cars. They don't, because they sitting there trying to write off everything, telling you they made 300,000, but wrote off everything till they make 30 grand a year. They ain't going to qualify for nothing. They're going to qualify for the same thing a school teacher going to qualify for. Nothing. All right, just saying. New York Times completely destroys Trent Small 1 million loan. Listen, the man loves saying it, so I'm gonna let him say it. Gary Vee made $30 million from investing, then preaches a lot of stuff that don't make sense to every person. Yeah, I mean, Gary Vee brother broke off into Gary Vayner Sports so they can be agents, because guess what? That's a lot of money in sports. There's a lot of money in that. Most life coaches need to get their life. I'm telling you, I go to events, and when somebody tell me they're a life coach, and I'm like, girl, you listen. There's one person, I ain't gonna say no negative, but literally 300 pounds, and I'm actually concerned about her health. And there's 2 other life coaches. They actually are very public that they struggle with like addiction and overeating, and like I'm very proud of them for coming out and speaking on it. Like Kawazi is very clear that he went from 398, like he even said it last year, he went from 398 to 200 pounds. His wife divorces him because he starts rising up all the ranks and they are no longer compatible. You can tell when somebody was a hater and all along, holding him back. Poe White Trash Becky hold him back. He divorces her, and the reason I'm being so confident what I'm saying about her is she immediately after the divorce goes through all his websites, starts deleting things, trashing him. This is the mother of your 3 children, and she's going through all your accounts, destroying would make $1 million and is paying her alimony. What? 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 Crazy. Okay. So once that's over, he gained his weight back. He went back up to 360 pounds. Now he dated one chick. He realized she was just using for the money, got rid of her. Then he started dating what? Another person who's a TED Talk speaker. Lost 100 pounds over a year. Got married the other day. Why? Because the same top 20% roll around the same circles. But guess what? To be that top 20%, look at Grant Cardone. If you guys ever get the Grant Cardone number 3 recording, because he's still trying to fix that audio that was crappy the first day. If you listen to it, there's a guy who's up in the front who paid $14,000 for a seat ticket, making a lot of money. Young business guy, but he's fat. And he's laughing. And Grant Cardone goes, "You don't need, what are you laughing about? You need to stop eating junk and work out." Now you could say, "Well, damn, Grant, that man just paid you 14 grand. Don't do him like that." But again, when you look at the top 20% circle, who's in it, who's dating, who's marrying, everybody's in shape. They pay for coaches. They pay for training. There's something wrong in the equation if I'm trying to coach you on life and I'm sick. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, that's why when everybody's like, Donald Trump's the man. Listen, somebody who's having bankruptcies and dropping wives left and right, there's something wrong there. Maybe a good business person, but something part of your life is a little off. You dig? All right. Thank y'all for putting the numbers in there. So 300. So we got a couple numbers, y'all. Let's do the math first, make sure it's right. I put 17 grand times 20 people. So I got two numbers, looks like probably 34. Okay. $340,000 for her putting on one retreat a year. So imagine the rest of the year, people are paying $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month to talk with her and help them coach her through business. Da, 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 da. Every time I look at these stories, every time I go in these groups, I'm like, damn, I charge too low. I need to charge $1,000 every time. I'm charging too low. I'm always trying to help people. I'm like, I'm charging too low. Shout out, Doug. Thank you. A hot Christmas mess on a cold winter day. 20 equals finessed. I love it. Equals finesse. She didn't even put math on it. I love it. I'm starting my life coaching services at $5,000 retreat to the Bluff. Hey, Ray Gun 34. Let me tell you, you got enough cool pictures, people will do it. So when you make more, you pay more. Yes and no. Are buying websites profitable? Yes. Did you know, guys? Did you guys know that the actor who played Luke Cage's wife is vice president at Netflix? Stop. See, I can't even. It's all about who you know, baby. It's who you know. 8 out of 10 people don't know why they don't take action. I can believe it. Success paralysis is rare. Okay. I'm gonna keep on going. Billie Jean commercial is annoying. There is a difference between self-employment and entrepreneurship. Listen. Glenn and Cameron talked on it today. It's very true. Now, let's not get it twisted. I'm putting together a course about becoming a 6-figure YouTuber. But in the course, it's a long one. I ain't gonna lie. This is a very long course because I've been practicing on 3 or 4 people and it's exhausting. So anyway, when I talk about how to make the $2,000 to $4,000 range, people are like, "Oh, that's like self-employed." Yeah, it is. Monthly, and then to go to 5,000 to 12,000 a month. It's a difference. It's a difference in scale and success. Like right now, I have one PR person. All she does is send me articles that I could write and be featured in magazines. Then I have another PR person that all they do is go around trying to get me into podcasts and shows. Then I have another person that works for me. All they do is credit repair. And we're adding 2 more people because we just bought someone's business. I'm hoping one of their employees stays on. I know I shouldn't keep one of their employees, but I think it would be easier in the transition. There is 2 other side businesses I'm working on. So I'm going to have employees, period. I have employees here. But the difference between here and here is different, right? Like there's a book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. It's a fact. It's a fact. Like as much as I'm making fun of some of these people, going to that 10X conference and paying some people on the other side, like when they walk me through what made them go from like consistent 10 to 20K a month, but you get stuck at if it's just you. to 30 to 50 to 60 a month, but you got employees, very different. Very different. Wow. Oh, really? Somebody has a join button. Okay, I'll look that up. I'll look it up. I believe y'all. I just there's some cray crays out here. There's one woman. She has like 60,000 followers and she's a witch. And she be talking about getting sugar daddies. And I'm like, y'all lining up to pay this woman to listen to her talk about sugar daddies? I don't know. All right. See, Latoya Jones, truth, grew up on a vegetable farm. Plus, my father fished and hunted. Even when money was low, we never went hungry. Facts. Many illegal immigrants not only own businesses, but they pay in taxes and social security. They sure do. Found out real estate agents can get a 3% refund on purchase of property forwarded into closing. Interesting. See, look, giant lifestyle, $997 for his course, and people buy. He have sold $40,000 worth June from my YouTube channel. I think I need to raise my price. I'm just telling you. Go to some of these conferences. Listen, if y'all haven't watched my other video, I didn't post it yet. I have a video coming up. I don't know if I should release it tonight or not. I'll release it tomorrow. It's talking about conferences, but literally, I give you the scoop. If you want to jump ahead in business, I'm telling y'all, go to Social Proof Conference. I'm gonna release it tomorrow. I'll release it for lunch tomorrow. It's a conference video. Watch it. It's short. It's 9 minutes. I name all the conference. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I don't name all the conferences I'm going to. I name the conferences I tell y'all about I'm going to, but there's an additional 10 that I'm going to that y'all don't even know about. But I'll tell you about them, and I tell you about what you do when you go there. Because I can tell you right now, I know 2-3 people. They connected at a conference. They had only, I'm gonna be careful. They had a certain amount of money to spend. 1 month they spend it on him. Next month they spend it on other guy. They work together. When you go to these conferences, people can hook you up. Do you think Netflix will last more than 5 years? I have a feeling that if they don't get movies that are already in theaters after raising their rates, things might go south. Oh, heck no. Listen to me. If you don't get nothing else from me today, Netflix ain't going nowhere. Because I'm about to end this show right now. But Netflix ain't going nowhere. Netflix makes shows. Now, do you guys remember Redbox? So Redbox, before Netflix started taking over, Redbox would buy all these black movies made in Georgia, made in South Carolina, made in North Carolina, made in California for like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And they pay these staff, like, these actors, 2, 3, these cheap knockoff movies. So you go to Redbox and you see all these B-rated movies. Netflix took over that position, and then they started buying all these B-rated movies, black, Hindu, and Netflix. So now, if you realize what I'm trying to say here, because I've been to a conference on this movie business, like if you watch me talk on Glenn and Cameron's thing one time when I was mentioning comments, I go on Indiegogo all the time and I buy executive producer spots, $1,000 pop. Sometimes 500 pop, sometimes whatever, right? I see what the quality of the executive producer is and if they've made other movies. Because what Netflix does is they just funnel. Netflix has at least 20,000 different little actors and people who have films, and hey, we're going to buy this film off you for $1 million. So the budget's cheap, right? It's almost old sci-fi. You know how sci-fi channels have all these old low budget B-rated scary movies on sci-fi? That's what Netflix is doing. It's the exact same thing. It's copying and it's doing that B-rated movie thing. Okay? And so now you got a pipeline of people out there. Now who's a prime example of this? Sharknado, y'all. That was the first of that kind of like what you can see on the next level. Like, oh, Sharknado made all this money. How about we put 12 million into the next Sharknado? Now you get more actors and more actors. This is the whole system. So imagine if you're prime example. Do you guys remember the dude who used to be on Sister, the Twins show? Roger Go Home. He out of that little R&B group. What is the name of that guy? Whatever the name of that guy is. He makes movies all the time, and you see him on sci-fi. It'll be having black actors. It'll be B-rated scary movies. He's the budget, way, way low budget. Jordan Peele. So again, lots to check out here. Oh wow! Thank you, PYJ Travel. I'll have a link out soon. Marcus Houston, there you go. Marcus Houston and the boys and Omarion, they own all their own rights to their music. They make all their own stuff. So even though you see his music, you're like, why is he still putting out CDs? He goes over to Europe, tours, gets $500,000, comes back home, puts together movies, raises money, crowdfunds money from all the black and other people in Hollywood, then takes that money, makes movies, sells the movie to Sci-Fi, sells the movie to Netflix, make sure all the actors are paid, make sure people get paid, and it just keeps going on. So that's why when I was on the camera saying I invest in Indiegogo, I'm just trying to invest in a certain circle because I know some of these are going to pay out. Exactly. All right, everybody. Oh, I already did videos on book recommendations. Again, it's not the books; it's actually taking action. That's what it is. Sorry, you guys. I've got to go. Hey, if you don't know who this channel is and you just came across it, I'm Erica Williams with the Classy Climb blog. 10x in it tonight. Author of Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in Real Estate, Businesses, and People. From the palm of your hand, man. It's where the investing's at. It's where the future is. Look for it this week. You'll see more investing videos. You'll see about 7 more high yield dividend videos. Some are going to be on M1 Finance. Some are going to be on the Stockpile app because many of you asked for the fractional shares for the Stockpile app and other things. So you guys have an amazing night. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Hey, thank you, Solid Steps of Wealth. All right, you guys. This is Erica, Classy Climb blog. Later.